Flosstube. Happy Sunday, April 5th. I don't usually film on Sundays, but after lunch I was going to sit down and do a little stitching and floss tubing. The boys were up playing video games and I thought, you know what? Maybe I should film one instead. I'm going to lower you just a smidge. We have one tripod. And, you know, as with a lot of people at home, there's been online meetings, different things. We've been using this tripod for many things, so sometimes it's not quite where I want it to be. It's nice that we've been able to do that. My husband does piano lessons, so he has to angle it like down at the piano. My son is doing virtual clarinet lessons, so we have to angle it for him. So I didn't look at that before I sat down, and it wasn't quite angled for you, which is what I do with the tripod. So welcome. I hope everyone's having a good weekend. It's actually sunny here. We had a very wet week. The front lawn looked like a swamp. Yesterday we were outside and it was a little chilly. Today is nice. Tomorrow is supposed to be almost 55, maybe even close to 60, which is very nice for us. We can get snow still in April, so this year we definitely are having an early spring. I said to my husband, okay, it looks like it's above 40 all week. Are we clear to rake the lawn? Like when do we be brave and we start doing our spring things? Because in years past, like we've raked and then it snowed and they did the sidewalks and everything and all the snow, you know, all the dirt gets chucked back on your lawn. So we haven't done it yet, but we may. We'll see. So we're still hanging in. We're at home, as the majority of you are too. John is working from home. I'm teaching from home as best I can. It's going well. It's nice when we can get outside. It gives us a break. Other than that, the grocery store is it. I said to John the other day, I used to really like shopping. I don't know if I'm ever going to like shopping again. Maybe this will break me of that. Because now it's a chore. You've got to plan ahead, you know, it's a chore, as you know. Before I get started on what I've been working on, I wanted to say a quick thank you to everyone who watched the last video I put out, which was a collaboration with Cynthia Brew of Stitching in the Light and Lynette of Homestaying on the Homefront, and it was frugal finishing. I got great tips from them when I watched theirs, and I had a lot of great feedback, so thank you for that. I did want to mention one of the things that I talked about was washers. I use fender washers. And I had put a link down, I've since deleted it, but I put a link down and it was washers from Amazon that I've gotten before and they've been fine. But I did just order a batch and they're not magnetic. So you might just want to hold off until you can get to the hardware store. I usually take a magnet with me to just test them because some washers are and some washers aren't. So to make sure that they're ones you can use. Now we have a giant bag of non-magnetic fender washers that I don't even know what you use a fender washer for if it's not cross stitch. What other use is there for them? So we'll have to come up with something. That was it. So I have been busy. It's funny, I don't have enough, I have zero alone time. Zero alone time. The cat was in the bathroom when I took a shower the other day. Zero alone time. I'm still stitching quite a bit because when we're doing schoolwork, my son just likes me in the room. There's only so much I can do in there, so I stitch. So I've gotten a lot of stitching done, and then sometimes in the afternoons, we've been watching the Cincinnati Zoo's feed, and they're on at 3. And then usually at 3:30, like our school day is done. We're done at 3:30. We're not a very strict schedule keeping school around here. We're getting our stuff done, but it doesn't take all day to do stuff. So we have plenty of extra time. He sometimes at 3:30 will have a Zoom meeting with a couple of his friends, which is great because he needs that time to socialize too. So when he does that, I have to leave the room because everything is hilarious and tee-hee this and ha-ha that, and I was like, I'm out of here. So that's usually when I sneak into the office and bother my husband, because that's where my craft area is. He gets half the room, I get half the room. So I have some FFOs, and I think all of them are new from when I last filmed, because I've kind of been starting a lot of things. Luckily, most of the things I've been starting have been small. I've been drawn to smalls. They finish quick. I feel like I accomplished something. I was able to fully finish them quick. So it's been working for me. We'll see what happens as we move forward. So I have 3 FFOs. I've shown all of them on Instagram at this point. 2 of them are from the Punch Needle, the spring issue. So first up was, it's a little bird by Sub Rosa. I don't know what they officially called it. Bless Our Nest. So that's how they did it. I decided to leave the text off to make it just a little smaller. So it called for oaken, but to me that looked kind of purpley, and I had a piece of Picture This Plus shale. I believe this one is a 16 count. So that's what I stitched him up on. So I believe I used the called for, except the basket, I just used DMC. It was a lot, I would have needed a lot of floss. In this way I outlined it, and we've had some Zoom meetings with our local cross stitch group, which has been great. I did one the other day with Lynette and Donna Ray and Cynthia and Amy Loves Toads and Glenn, the Southern Stitcher, and Gable Stitcher Amy. It was 2 Amy's, double the fun. So this has been nice. I can just fill in when we're talking. So I finished him up. I used velveteen on the back from Lady Dot. I got some water on it. Apparently don't get water on your velveteen because it leaves little marks, though they kind of look like little bird prints, so that's fine. And I finally tried the chenille. I glued it on. I didn't know how else to get it on. And then my friend Rebecca said, oh, well, she showed me a picture of one of hers, and I said, your chenille looks great. And she said she fluffed it with a toothbrush. So I fluffed it with a toothbrush. It's still not my favorite trim, but it looks nice. The velveteen was very nice to use. And I used my yarn trick in the corners, and I think they look pretty good. So that's number 1. Second one is also from this magazine. A lot of people have been doing this one. It's the Spring Hair Etching by Cecilia Turner of Heart and Hand. This one I did on Picture This Plus Petals, which is a pale, pale pink. So pale it's almost white. I had a little scrap left. So this one, I had a little easel that I found, it was in my closet. It came from Michael's. They're a 4-pack, and they were in like the wedding section. So it's not even in there. It just stuck in on its own. So I had a fabric that matched. It was like a purpley pink. I used sulky threads for this. Just 2 colors. I picked 2, a brown and a pinky purple. And I used a little light green to make my cording, and he sits right in there. I may paint this white. I haven't decided. The good thing is I have 4 of them, so if I paint it white and it looks terrible, then I can just try again. So that was finished number 2. I just was checking my phone because someone left me a message to say, wanted to let you know the link for the washers weren't magnetic. I apologize. It got me too. So yeah, it got me too. I've used them before in the past and they've been fine. The third finish I fully finished was the Be Well and Stitch freebie from Jordan of Little Stitch Girl. And I left the words off this one too. And I ended up finishing it. This was one that, you know, I stitched, I think this was Tycho, a little scrap. And I thought, well, what am I gonna do with that? It's a weird size. I could have made it into a pillow for my bowl. I was going through the closet and I found this little tin. It's just a little tin, it had a lid. These flowers, I don't have anything in there. Like I don't have styrofoam or any of that because I didn't have it. So they're just jammed in there. And then eventually I think they'd stay in place better if I had some floral foam or something. And I just Frankensteined this right on the back. I thought about doing it with snaps. I didn't have any snaps. So for now, that's how it went on there. And I love this. This was really cute. I used, her called for is Huckleberry, which I had, and Barn Door for the roof, which I had, and then all the rest I just used the called for DMC because that's what I had. So that one was really cute. And I finished that, and then I thought, I think I'm done with spring. So those were kind of my spring FFOs. I have one FO, which was, I think I showed you last week I had started it. It was Humble Honey. This was a cute little one from Hands On Design this year. This one I haven't fully finished. It will be going on this little board that I got at the Target Dollar Spot last year, but I think I want to do some kind of hexagonal. I think I want just not a rectangle, and that takes more brain power than I've had and more time. So seems that won't go up until summer anyway. That one is waiting. So those are FFOs and FOs. Now for my pile of whips, which like I said, I've been starting all the things. I just grabbed them. We'll go through these bags together. First up is Cardinal Points. I am plugging away on this one. This one also takes a little brain power, so sometimes at night I'm just not up for it by that point. And this is where I'm at on that one. I know last time I worked on it, I did this motif is new, this one is new, and I think some of these. I'm almost done with page 1. It's kind of right here. So I'm trying to finish that up. I did end up using the 18 count antique white. And I'm using 2 strands because the one strand, just for my personal preference, I wanted it a little thicker than that. So I have that one. Next up is Raven from Mirabilia. Nora Corbett. It's one of the Bewitching Pixies. I'm doing this with Cobweb Corners Bewitching Pixies Sal. There's a Facebook group. So I was working on this on Mondays. It ended up being taken off its Q-snap because I needed it for other things. This one is on Picture This Plus 16 count Haunted. So since you've seen her, I haven't done that much. I filled in this part of the dress. So next time I work on her, this is her body. This is like a giant bow, so I'll be able to kind of work my way up that. That's another one that usually, I was working on it every Monday, but I was working on it during the day. Like after lunch, I would take a break and work on this. But now after lunch, I'm doing other things and do not have the level of concentration that I used to, so it's not gotten a lot of love. Next up is my Stitcherovia, the beach scene. This is available on Stitcherovia's Etsy store. I don't know what she called it, but it's kind of, I mean, it has a picture obviously, but it's beach time or something pretty obvious. And this one, I've been filling in endless waves. So I have them all outlined, that's the bottom. So sometimes I just fill them in. I did this on a Zoom call. It's mindless. I will need up here where they're kind of broken, there's more of this lighter color. So I need to kind of do that next, so then I know right where I'm going to fill in the darker blue so I don't mess it up. So that's plugging along, that's a slow one. I just put my notes in that bag. I mean, they weren't very meticulous notes, but they're in that bag. So that's that one. I've had 2 new bigger starts. When I finished my spring stuff, I had to start more things. I've been wanting to start all the things. I was digging through looking for fabric for one of these, and I pulled out a piece of Picture This Plus Lagoon, which is like a swampy kind of green with a little gold, and I thought it would be perfect for this one, which was a new market release from Ink Circles. It's Elemental Dragons Earth. So I started this, and I'm coming along. So I started in the middle, and then I worked my way out, and I've got 3 of the big dragons on the edges, and there are 8. So I'm working on this. I'm using a sulky thread for that. Sulky 1234. Its official name is Almost Black. I chose this one because I had 2 spools. So I thought if I need more than 1 spool, which I think I will, I wouldn't have to worry about getting it. I'd already have it. I had a spool of black, which would have been fine, but I only had 1 of it. So I went with the one that I had 2, and I think it's, and for those people who wonder about sulky coverage, this is on 16 count. I think it covers great. 1 strand of the sulky. On a 14 count, or 28, for me, it wouldn't cover enough. But on a 16 or an 18, I think it's fine. And I really like working with the 1 strand. I like being able to pull off just the length I want. I'm a fan of the sulky. And then the last new start, when I finished my spring stuff, I wanted to move on to summer, was the Trilogy's summer lineup. I have all 4 seasons. Last year I did the spring, and then I didn't get to any of the rest of them. So this year I thought I'll start right in with summer. I'm using 18 count Vintage Country Mocha. They'll all fit on the same finishing. I'm gonna use the same fabric for all seasons. The white shows up good enough that I can use it for December for the winter one. So I'm moving along on this one. This one doesn't take as much brain power. So when I'm in the afternoon or in there with the boy, I can pull out that one. So that's that. New starts. I have watched some Flosstube. My time on the TV is limited. I'm 3rd tier. So I watch some on my phone sometimes. There's been a lot of videos lately, which is great. I know a lot more people have time to do things and update. I have not kept up. So I'm trying to keep up with my regulars. I have watched a couple of new people, and I don't think I've done shout outs in forever. 2 of the ones that I know are new and that I haven't mentioned is Cow Stitcher. She has some really cute finishes. I like her finishing style. It's very similar to my own. She has really great projects. She does a lot of the chalkboard projects, so she's very sweet. And Lady Robin S. She's out of Seattle area, I believe. The other Portland. No, she'd be in Washington. She's West Coast, Pacific Northwest. Her videos are always fun. She has some great projects too. She's a Satsuma fan like I am. She's working on Pretty Little Seattle. So if you're looking for someone new because you've watched every other video, you aren't sleeping if you're watching all the videos, those are a couple that would be good to check out. So, giveaways, and then we'll talk about haul, which I don't have much to show. So giveaways. I didn't hear, last video we did the Be Joyful, and Stone Stitcher was the winner of this. And Stone Stitcher, I haven't heard from you. So I had commented on your original comment. So get in touch with me, and if I don't hear from her by my next video, we will draw for that again. The other one did go out. That was no problem. So we're waiting on that one. Carla from Cobweb Corner sent me a couple more to send you guys. I asked her, I said, send little ones so I can just pop them in the mail because I'm not going to the post office. So for these, we are going to do US only just because I know I can put them right in the mailbox in a regular envelope and they'll get to you no problem. So Carla has 2 new stitch-alongs that she's working on. I pulled up a picture. The first one is It's called the Colorful series. It's by Kitty and Me. I don't know how well this is going to show. They're really cool. They're like animal mandalas. I know that's out of focus and fuzzy, but they're really, really cool. So if you are interested in those, I'll put a link to Carla's to cobwebcorner.com. There are 12 different, not 12. That was the one above it. I don't know how many different there are, but there are a lot. There's cats, there's owls, there's rabbits, there's eagles. They're all really cool. So that is starting. And then she's also doing another stitch along for the Little Sheep Virtues series by Little House. So she sent me one of those to give away to you. This is Patience, and she also put the Just Another Button Company. It's on his little sheep butt. So if you'd like to stitch this one, say I'd like to stitch the sheep. And then just a quick fun spring. This is Curio Songbird by Heart and Hand. And this is little. This would be like a 1 or 2 nighter, and it's so sweet and cute. I would like to stitch the bird. So the sheep, the bird. And a big thank you to Carla for sending these along and for making sure they're ones that I can get right out to you, because I don't want you guys to have to wait. So that's the giveaway. I won a giveaway, so I have that to show you. This is from Sarah and Heather. They run the Crafter Emporium on Etsy. And I met them when I was at market. They came into Barbie's room, and they have these bags that they've made up. And they gave some to some of the designers. And then they did a giveaway for one of their bags, and I'm like, oh, they're so cute. And I entered and I won. So this is the bag that I chose. And you might have seen some other people showing these. They're so cute. So I chose Getting Stitchy with It. And they have their little logo on the back. And it's a handle bag. So this is so cute. So they have these on their Etsy store. They had 3 designs. Now I think they might have added a new one. I just saw a post. So it's the Crafter Emporium. They have project bags. They have the thread keep things, like with the batting that you can put your thread bits on. They have charts because they were at market, so they have charts and they have all kinds of things. So you can go check them out there. And thank you guys so much. Haul, I don't really have anything to show you. I've been shopping, but I've already kind of put stuff away. It was no charts. It was, I went through a bunch of my stuff to kind of kit some stuff up in case we're unavailable to get stuff. I thought, yeah, what do I kind of want to get to this year? What do I need? So I ordered floss from Carla at Cobweb Corner. I ordered floss from Penny at thedailystitcher.com. Jen's Stitching Niche had the new Picture This Plus fabrics available in the 16 count Aida, which is my preferred. So I ordered some of those from her. I got Fawn and the blue one. I don't remember what it's called, but I already put it away. And then I was on Etsy the other day and I was looking for the Hand-Dyed by Stephanie new fabric, Vintage Tiffany, that goes with the Hands-On Design Santas, and Hollis Hands Create on Etsy had some of that. It's a 14 count, it'll be fine. So I bought a piece of that. And that can't travel alone, so I bought one of the other new Picture This Pluses to travel with it on their way. So those have all come, and that's it. I didn't need any charts. I'm actually finally getting to some that I've been wanting to get to for a while. Plans will just be to keep going with what I have. We'll see how much I'm still drawn to start. It's been nice to finish things. I'm definitely over my spring stitching. Now I've moved on to summer. I need to figure out Mania. Originally, I was thinking I would do Mania like I did last year, where I did 1 new start each week. Only I thought I'd do 4 starts. And last year I did a start and I worked on that start. I worked on that for the whole week. And then I put it aside and started a new one. So that was my plan. But now that I've started so many things, I don't know if I want 4 more new starts. I don't know if I want to pick whips and work on one whip for each week. By the time Mania gets here, everyone else will be doing new starts, and I might decide I want new starts anyway. I have fabric and floss, so if that's the case, I can quickly get stuff up. So that's kind of what I need to decide, is if I want 4 more new starts. My goal this year was to get my whip count down, and it is most definitely not down. It is up. So, all right, I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for spending some time with me today. I hope to catch up sometime. Every time I watch you guys, I want to buy more things, so that's not good. That's it. Thank you guys so much. I will talk to you later. It will probably be a couple weeks, 3 weeks. Happen when it happens. Bye.